We're going to go a little further in a story we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. Last night, we told you that after working for weeks to move inmates, the Hennepin County Jail is now in compliance with that state order to reduce overcrowding. They now have just over 500 inmates in their custody. And the county voted this week to spend millions of dollars on how they got to that number by relocating inmates to neighboring county jails. But obviously, that's a short-term solution for a crisis that remains. Danny Spiewak has been following the story since it began and joins us tonight with what he has learned. Danny?
Jana, Hennepin County Sheriff DeWanna Witt has admitted that relocating inmates is not a perfect solution, even though it is the strategy that allowed the county to meet this week's deadline from the state. Now, advocacy groups are calling on Witt and other law enforcement leaders to make structural changes to the criminal justice system.
In late October, the Minnesota Department of Corrections ordered Hennepin County to lower its jail population to 600, citing staffing shortages that left the county unable to adequately supervise inmates and respond to emergencies. 5 weeks later, the county has now achieved that target after moving hundreds of inmates within the county or to neighboring counties.
Nearly miraculous that the sheriff was able to pull that off.
James Stewart leads the Minnesota Sheriff's Association.
Because there's so many moving parts behind the scene in order to work with the other sheriff's offices and other counties on such a large scale with that many incarcerated individuals that need to be moved.
To stay in compliance, the Hennepin County Board approved $5.4 million this week to fund agreements with 7 other county jails through next May. Hennepin County will send inmates to the following counties: Wright, Scott, Chisago, Anoka, Goodhue, Ramsey, and Sherburne.
I am with immense reservation supporting the action in order to be compliant, and this is obviously not a sustainable approach.
That's what some community groups are saying too. This week, the Hennepin County Attorney Community Relations Board issued a statement saying that relocating people is not a meaningful solution and that moving people away from their lawyers and families is harmful, cruel, and unreasonable.
I think it's actually the wrong solution.
Michael Collins heads government affairs for a national group known as Color of Change, which helped create the Hennepin County Relations Board.
This isn't about being progressive or conservative or tough on crime. This is about the fact that they need to move forward with cases as quickly as possible, because the reason we have jail population problem in Hennepin County is nothing to do with public safety and everything to do with a failure of the criminal justice bureaucracy.
Sheriff DeWanna Witt has acknowledged these concerns.
I, for one, would like to stay ahead of this as well. This is not a very comfortable position. It's not a very good look.
Sheriff Witt says a shortage of detention deputies remains the primary challenge.
Everything we do, from programs to transport to getting people to court to working with our partners, involves staffing. And so that's the thing that we have to continue to work on.
After the state placed their jail license on conditional status, Hennepin County filed a formal appeal. That process is ongoing, but as long as the county remains in compliance with the jail population target, as it is right now, the county should have that full license restored at some point. Jan.
So it's all about recruiting to the sheriff's department. That's what Sheriff Witt thinks will help things.
And we've actually been talking to her for months about that. She says she's aggressively recruiting for detention deputies, and they are offering some incentives for people to join the force there.
All right. Thanks so much, Danny. We appreciate it.